Is investing in tax lien certificates a good investment? Let's dig deep into that in this video. This unconventional investment strategy, is this the Pandora's box that'll open up the wealth for your family, or just another fad that's going on? Listen, in this video, I'm going to dig into why tax liens are around, what's made them available, why are they talking about these high interest rates, and is it really possible to get a property and own it free and clear? All of these and more I'm going to go through in this video, so stick around. First thing you want to do though, is do the obvious. Hit the thumbs up, get the bell reminder. I guess that alerts you every time I get a good idea and put it on video. And then subscribe if you like this information. And most importantly, talk to me. Send me a question if you've got something in there that you have a question on, or you've heard something differently. Type it in there. I personally will have a chat with you. So let's talk about tax lien certificates. Is this great plethora of information, or is it a here today, gone tomorrow? Tax lien certificates have been available in this country since before we became a country. Matter of fact, the oldest tax lien certificate I ever saw was dated in the 1600s. So let's go backwards. Let's talk about the history behind this. Tax lien certificates came from Great Britain, okay? All the pilgrims and stuff came over here, and they come in there. We need some schools, bridges, fire departments, all that good stuff. Who's going to pay for this? It's property taxes. Now that's where the good part starts, okay? So we got it from England. The difference is in England, property taxes stay with the individual and not the property. They didn't really think that they needed to move with the individual because in the day, nobody moved from their properties. There was no such thing as a real estate market, okay? So if somebody had a house in England, they had it, their kids had it, their kids' had it. So the taxes stayed with the individual. Now, interesting, when you come to the United States, the property has got the tax lien and it's controlled by the county. Why? Because people migrated and moved around so much. Maybe you didn't make it so good in Boston, so you decided to go down to Oklahoma for the land grab. So and all of a sudden, a county in Massachusetts is sitting there holding a piece of property with nobody paying the property taxes. So a lot of the rules around tax lien certificates developed because of the way we are as a nation. And it's really cool if you look at it that way. It's developed into a very lucrative strategy, but there's a lot you need to know about it. First of all, in over 2,000 jurisdictions across the United States, once a property owner becomes 1 year delinquent on the property taxes, the county holds a sale. People like you and I can put up the money for those delinquent taxes. Now, let me stop right there. You are not buying somebody's property. Okay, in fact, you're not dealing with the property owner. Who knows what riverboat casino they're going to go to? You're going to the county. The county is going to be your workhorse. In return for putting up this money to the county is going to give you a certificate. That is going to go down file at the county courthouse. That is a legal document, but it's going to bear an interest rate. That interest rate can be anywhere from about 10% on the low side up to 30, 40% on the high side. Kind of irrelevant. I know those are high numbers, but I'll explain that in just a second. Once the property owner comes into the county to pay their delinquent taxes, the county will see that you're the lien holder of record, and by law, they will cut you a check within 5 to 10 business days, and you're good to go. What if they don't pay? If they don't pay, the underlying property is their security. Here's the cool thing. Because the county is technically owed the money, if a property owner fails to pay the property taxes within the prescribed amount of time, which is called a redemption period, you can foreclose on the property and you are the superior lien. So in other words, you'll be over the mortgage, you'll be over all other liens and encumbrances on that property. So you'll own it free and clear on that. Now, is a mortgage company going to let a property go for a couple of years back taxes? Probably not. Is a property owner going to let a property go for a couple of years of back taxes? Probably not. Some way, somehow, somebody's probably going to figure out a way to satisfy those delinquent taxes. Boo-hoo. So what? You get 16, 18, 24, 36% on your money. But here's the kicker. Doesn't matter what happens with the stock market. Doesn't matter what happens with the bond market. Doesn't matter with the price of oil or who invades who or who gets elected president. Okay? Your interest rate is locked in. So I'm locked in at 16%. I'm locked in at 18%. I'm locked in at 25%, and nothing can or will affect my yield or my principal. Okay? And the underlying value is you have that property. If for whatever reason they don't come in and pay all those property taxes off, you do get a property free and clear. That's what a tax lien certificate is, and that's why everybody talks about them. Here's the kicker. Very few people out there know how they work. And that's just one aspect of the whole process. So about half of the states offer what you call a tax lien certificate, which we just talked about right there. The other half of the country, the states go, you know what? We're going to give them a little more time to pay on that. We're not going to offer these up to the general public, that's me and you, until they've been delinquent 3, 4, or 5 years. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold a tax deed sale. Now, in most cases, at a tax deed sale, all of the foreclosure has been done. They've been past the 3 years. The county owns the property, and the opening bid is going to be the back taxes and penalties for that auction. So let's just take a $250,000 property. There could be, I don't know, say $15,000 in taxes. That's the opening bid. So when I come down there to buy that particular, you're buying the property. You better have done your research, and I've got other videos on that. I'm explaining about the tax lien and deed situation here. So when I go in there, I've done all my research and I want this property and I bid it, say up to $30,000, I own it. I own it for $30,000, okay? All of the foreclosure has already been done on that. The county says enough's enough, we want our money, and you own it free and clear. No liens or encumbrances, it doesn't matter what banks or whatever, that's the way the process works. You're not taking somebody's house, okay? Just so we're clear. The chances of you getting a property where it's the homeowner in it are very, very slim. But let's just say, and don't kick anybody while they're down, let's say that you do get a property back and the homeowner's in it. I mean, can you and I both agree that financially speaking, they're probably not in a very good position? Don't kick anybody while they're down, okay? So why don't you just call the homeowner and say, hey, I've got your property. You want to buy it back from me? Probably less than you owed on it originally. There's all sorts of factors that you can do in there. But I'm going to tell you this, the chances of somebody losing their house to a couple of years back taxes are slim. Why? There's 5 years. They've got notifications. I mean, I want you to think about what other debt out there that you can be delinquent on for so long before anything happens. So while they're being late, it doesn't go against their credit, okay? It doesn't go against their financial statement. So let's just compare some apples to apples. Stop making a car payment. Find out what happens after about 30 or 40 days. Okay, not a good day. This 5 years. Stop making a mortgage payment. Not a good day. Oh, here's a good one. Stop making a credit card payment. Watch how quickly you go up to the thing and it doesn't work anymore. Okay, with tax lien certificates, you and I, because we're willing to buy the taxes to the county, we're buying the property owner time. That's what it is. So we're buying them down. Does the county win? Yes, they need this money. What do they need this money for? The number one thing that property taxes are going towards or are going to be schools. Okay, so you've got probably 55 to 65% of all property taxes go to our school systems, and then you've got police department, fire department, roads, bridges, parks, recs, hospitals. All of these things are controlled. And I really want you to think about the purity of this investment. Nothing, and I do mean nothing you can invest your money in do you have this much control. If you don't like what the county's doing with their money, you go somewhere else. I mean, the raw sense of the county takes this money and uses it to operate the county are nothing more pure. This is the best governmental situation you're looking at. If you don't like what the county's doing, you can go from there. It's not like the federal government just start printing a bunch of money. The county is restricted within their budget. This is a vital component of a county existing. Now you think to yourself, well, why isn't the county more aggressive about this? Why aren't they easy about this? I want you to think about the county's position for a minute. 99.5% of all property owners pay their taxes. The county, the investment that you and I are talking about is in that 0.5% margin. So let me put that in perspective to a bank. If a bank had 99.5% of every loan they made paying on time, they would be on the cover of Bankers R Us. So the counties in all respective purposes are doing their job. Okay, they're doing their job. They're collecting 99.5%. But that little gap of 0.5% is billions of dollars in uncollected property taxes. That's where you and I fit into place. They have to, by law, bring those up to sale because the county's expecting that money in a budget. So they either have to do it in a tax lien situation or a tax deed. That's up to the state legislators. Once that happens, you're good to go, okay? You can buy the tax lien or the tax deed. Ever get a property back where the homeowner's in it, you can work with them. If you don't know what to do, okay, call me. I'll help you out with it, and we'll walk you through that whole process on it. In fact, if you've got questions on that, remember, in the comments, ask me a question. I personally answer those. And a better way to get all your questions answered, to make this a financial reality for you and your family, is take advantage of the brand new training that I have right now. It's the HigginsMethod.com. Just go to that website, put your information in there, free training for you, and I'm going to go into detail on how all of this works. And just for doing that, I'm also going to give you my new free book, America's Secret Investment Strategy. That is my gift for you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Hit the like. See you later.